The real reason diamonds are so expensive. Diamonds, dazzling, rare, and worth a fortune, or so we're told. But what if I told you their sky-high value has little to do with rarity, and almost everything to do with marketing, manipulation, and an industry monopoly? Today, we dig deep into the hidden story of why diamonds are so expensive, and trust me, it's not what the jewelry stores want you to know. 1. The illusion of rarity. Let's start with the biggest myth: rarity. Diamonds aren't unicorns. Global rough diamond output routinely totals well over 100 million carats a year, spanning Africa, Russia, Canada, and Australia. The point isn't that diamonds grow on trees, but that supply can be managed, released or withheld, to shape price and perception. For decades, that's exactly how the industry kept prices buoyant, by controlling the flow of stones to market. 2. The De Beers playbook. The architect of that control was De Beers. During the 20th century, it corralled the majority of world supply, often cited near 80 to 90% at its peak, via its Central Selling Organization, CSO. Through sites, invitation-only sales, and stockpiles, De Beers rationed supply, stabilized prices, and cultivated the idea that diamonds were both scarce and steadily appreciating. Even after the monopoly loosened in the 2000s, the system it pioneered, coordinated releases and disciplined pipelines, continued to shape the market's behavior. 3. A diamond is forever culture engineering. In 1947, ad agency NW coined, "A diamond is forever" for De Beers, arguably the most successful slogan in modern advertising. The campaign linked diamonds to eternal love, then pushed the 2-month salary rule to set a social baseline for ring spending, a line that appeared in De Beers' international campaigns, especially in post-war Japan and later in the US. The result wasn't just demand, it was obligation. You weren't buying a rock, you were buying proof of love. 4. How the supply chain stays tight. Even today, rough flows through a narrow corridor. A few large miners, e.g., De Beers, Alrosa, sell in scheduled parcels to site holders, who accept set assortments rather than haggling stone by stone. When sentiment weakens, sellers can withhold or defer sites, or trim assortments, rather than dump goods and crater prices. That's one reason diamond prices historically feel less volatile than other luxury goods, even when consumer demand is wobbling. 5. Reality check: resale value. Here's the uncomfortable truth: most retail diamond buyers lose money on resale. Between retail markups, grading nuances, and a thin secondary market, many sellers are offered a fraction of what they paid, often well under 50%, depending on the stone and setting. The market for second-hand diamonds is not like gold, a fungible commodity with live spot pricing. It's fragmented, discretionary, and driven by jewelers' inventory needs and risk tolerance. Recent coverage and industry commentary repeatedly warn consumers not to view standard engagement stones as investments. As we continue, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. 6. The lab-grown shock. Then came lab-grown diamonds, chemically and optically identical to mined diamonds, but far cheaper to produce once the tech scaled. By 2018, even the US Federal Trade Commission updated its jewelry guides to clarify that the word diamond can describe man-made stones as long as marketers disclose the origin, e.g., laboratory created. That shift legitimized the category for mainstream buyers. Since then, prices for lab-grown diamonds have fallen fast as production ramped up, CVD, HPHT. Analysts and media have tracked steep declines, while natural diamond prices have also softened amid weak China demand and changing US preferences. The Financial Times recently described the market as disrupted. A 1-carat lab-grown could cost a small fraction of an equivalent natural stone, produced in mere weeks. In parallel, De Beers launched Lightbox in 2018, openly pricing lab-grown at a flat $800 per carat at launch, an explicit attempt to position them as fashion stones rather than heirlooms. 7. Why prices stay high anyway. So if supply is managed and substitutes are surging, why do diamonds still command high tags at retail? 3 reasons. 1. Brand power and emotional framing. Decades of advertising fused diamonds with love, status, and rites of passage. That narrative is sticky, and retail is priced to the story. 2. Opaque pricing. Unlike gold, diamonds don't trade on a public exchange. Each stone's value hangs on the 4 C's, branding, and grading certificates, leaving plenty of room for markup and confusion. 3. Managed primary supply. Coordinated release strategies, long-term contracts, and the tradition of sites help prevent panic selling, smoothing out volatility and sustaining price norms. 8. The 2023 to 2025 reality check. The past 2 years have been a stress test. Wholesale polished prices slid as demand cooled and inventories swelled. Major miners reduced sales or deferred sites. Reporting from trade outlets and the mainstream press notes double-digit declines in natural diamond prices from their post-pandemic peaks, while lab-grown prices fell even more sharply due to rapid capacity growth. In short, the forever price story is no longer bulletproof. 9. Ethics, sustainability, and the narrative battle. Another force reshaping demand is the ethics conversation. Natural diamonds rely on certification schemes like the Kimberley process to curb conflict stones, but critics argue loopholes remain. Meanwhile, lab-grown brands position themselves as the cleaner, lower-impact option, though actual footprints vary by producer and energy mix. As consumers ask tougher questions, the story attached to a stone, origin, social impact, environmental cost, can sway willingness to pay far more than minute differences in clarity grades. This is also why origin-traced natural diamonds and branded cuts try to defend premium pricing. 10. So, what are you paying for? When you buy a diamond ring, you're paying for more than a crystal lattice of carbon: the myth, love, status, permanence. The marketing, a slogan so effective it redefined courtship. The market structure, supply discipline, grading mystique, retailer markups. And increasingly, the story, origin, ethics, sustainability. That's why a $5,000 ring might only command a fraction of that on resale, while a near-identical lab-grown stone can sell for thousands less at retail. The value isn't purely in the gem. It's in the meaning the industry has spent a century crafting, plus a sales pipeline designed to preserve it. Bottom line. Diamonds are not expensive because nature made them impossibly scarce. They're expensive because a powerful industry taught us what a diamond should mean, managed supply to match that meaning, and priced the symbolism accordingly. Lab-grown stones, FTC guidance, and shifting consumer values have cracked that story open. The sparkle is real, but so is the strategy behind the sticker. So the next time you see that glitter, ask yourself, am I paying for the diamond, or the dream? If you found this breakdown useful, like and subscribe for more myth-busting deep dives into luxury, marketing, and money.